A young man named Arjun lived in a bustling village. Every day he struggled with endless thoughts, worries, and problems. He was overwhelmed by his life, his job, his relationships, and the constant feeling that he was never good enough. His mind raced endlessly, and he often found himself lost in a sea of overthinking. One day, feeling completely lost, Arjun decided to seek wisdom from the renowned teacher Gautama Buddha, who was known for his calmness and wisdom. He traveled to the serene hills where the Buddha meditated in solitude. When he reached the Buddha, he found him sitting peacefully under a tree, completely at ease. Arjun, desperate and exhausted, approached him. With great urgency, Arjun kneeled before Buddha. Master, he said, I am tormented by my thoughts. I cannot stop overthinking. Every day I am consumed by my worries about my future, my job, my relationships. How can I find peace in my mind? How can I stop this endless cycle of overthinking? The Buddha opened his eyes slowly and looked at Arjun with compassion. The mind, he said, is like a turbulent river. When the river is disturbed, the water becomes muddy and unclear. But when the water settles, it becomes still and reflects the sky perfectly. Overthinking, my friend, is like the disturbance in the river. Your thoughts are agitated, clouded, and confused. But when you have the power to calm them, the Buddha continued, when you overthink, you give too much energy to your thoughts. You create stories in your mind, often about things that may never happen. These thoughts take you away from the present moment. True peace comes when you learn to let go of the need to control everything and accept what it is. The Buddha smiled and gestured for Arjun to sit beside him. Close your eyes, Arjun. Focus on your breath. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Let each breath remind you that this moment is all that matters. Not the past, not the future. Only this breath, this moment. When you focus on the present, the mind calms and the overthinking fades. Buddha then spoke of a metaphor. Imagine a jar filled with muddy water. He said, if you shake the jar, the water becomes cloudy and nothing is visible. But if you leave the jar still, the mud settles and the water becomes clear. Your thoughts are like this muddy water. When you stop agitating them with worry and overthinking, your mind becomes clear and you can see things as they truly are. Arjun listened intently, slowly beginning to understand. Buddha continued, when you meditate, you allow your mind to rest. When you practice mindfulness, you train your mind to focus on the present. When you stop running after every fleeting thought, you give your mind the space it needs to find clarity and peace. As Arjun practiced deep breathing and meditation under Buddha's guidance, his mind gradually began to quiet. The incessant chatter of his thoughts slowed down. He realized that much of his suffering came from his attachment to thoughts of what might happen and what had already passed. As he embraced the present moment, he felt a sense of peace he had never known before. Buddha looked at Arjun with a gentle smile. Remember, Arjun, the mind is powerful, but it can also be your greatest enemy. Do not let your thoughts rule you. Instead, become the master of your mind through awareness, mindfulness, and presence. When you find peace within, the world around you will reflect that peace. Arjun returned to his village, but he was no longer the same person. Whenever his mind began to race, he would pause, take a deep breath, and return to the present moment. The worries that once consumed him now seemed distant and unimportant. He had learned the secret to overcoming overthinking, peace from within. The conclusion of the story is the lesson of the Buddha lived on Arjun's heart. Whenever life felt overwhelming, he would return to his breath, find his center, and channel the silence. Remember the stillness within, and so can you. Remember, the mind is a powerful tool, but it is you who decides how to use it. All the best.